In the last 72 hours, I made over $10,000. And I'm sure you're wondering, how the hell does a 20-year-old kid make this much money in 3 days from his bedroom? And it wasn't from some lucky crypto coin or trading risky investments. I did it doing remote sales all from my laptop. And this specific type of sales isn't the normal high ticket info product sales that you've probably seen, or it's not some high level software sales that requires years of experience. I found out about financial services a few months ago, and today I'm going to share with you exactly what I did within the last 72 hours to make over $10,000. I'm going to be showing you guys live sales calls so that you can see exactly how I did it and what's possible if you have the right systems and you learn the right skills. So to break down exactly how this niche of sales works, the first thing I did to start the week was buy a new batch of leads of people that filled out a form online requesting more information on this product. In this video, it's going to be final expense insurance. These people put all of their information, they're interested in the product, and sometimes they even put their beneficiary down. I bought 500 leads to start, and this cost me $250, and I threw them all into my dialer. If you're not sure what that is, it's basically a software that calls these people for you, and as soon as someone answers, it pops up their information on the screen. So all I need to do is just read off a script. I need to remind them what they had filled out, figure out why they had filled it out, and then build value from there so that they can understand how the product is going to fulfill that need. And then once I sell them, I simply take the commission. Now that you have a basic understanding of how this actually works, we can get straight into the calls so that you can see this in action and see exactly what I say to close these deals. And throughout the video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what's happening over the course of the 72 hours so that you can see exactly what I did to turn just a few $100s invested into leads into over $10,000 in just a 3-day time frame. You have a feeling that there is something major that might happen to you medically going forward, so I'm assuming that might have been the reason you're looking into something like this. And then Mr. Leroy, in terms of coverage, what was the biggest thing for you? Is it just covering those basic final expenses and leaving some money behind? What was the biggest thing for you?
I mean, in the terms of the biggest thing is, so what you were saying is my neuropathy, because I just had a cousin kind of had neuropathy. He might have had something
Yeah.
else could have been wrong, but he passed away.
Imagine you just want to make sure that you have something in place. So if God forbid something does happen to you, obviously you're leaving some money behind with like a friend or family member. Was that the biggest thing?
Well, I understand that. Well, why you ask me the question is that, I mean, see, I just feel it's just a person, like a personal thing.
No, it's not a personal attack at all, Mr. Leroy.
I mean, if it's something that you really need to know, and yeah, I'll try to pass it over.
Obviously, so I can see if I can even help, what the biggest thing for you was. And it sounds like just making sure that you have coverage in place just because of those medical issues is kind of what you're looking at.
Yes, I gotta have protection.
So biggest thing I can do is obviously look around and see which carrier is going to be able to give you the best possible rate just to put you and obviously your sister or other family in the best possible situation here, okay? Okay, and has anyone explained to you a little bit about how the newer programs work?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's really going to be the biggest thing. Of course, those benefits are amazing and all. But like I said, biggest thing that it normally comes down to is actually finding you a carrier that we can get you approved with. But I can just pull up some numbers for you here. All right, perfect. So the first number that you can write down there, Mr. Leroy, is going to be 5,000. And then to the right of that 15,000, you can write down 115. And what you're looking at here, Mr. Leroy, those numbers on the left, the 5, 10, and 15,000, of course, that would be the actual coverage amount that you'd be leaving behind with your family. And then those numbers on the right.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, trying to tell you that I just signed on to some insurance. Got at least $15,000.
And when did you put that in place?
This It wasn't too long ago.
Do you kind of know how the term policies work?
I mean, at first I did now, and now it's kind of slipped my mind.
Mr. Leroy, do you mind if I just give you like a piece of advice? Term is honestly the last thing I would recommend, especially like a veteran yourself, just because with term, that basically means that that policy is going to expire on you. And what happens is the term policies basically like just taking a bank account that you're putting money into, and then at the end of that, you basically just throw it in the trash. Like yourself, who can qualify for something more permanent and at a fixed rate, as well as no waiting period. So any reason you wouldn't want to look at something more permanent, and then if you obviously get approved, I can help you cancel out that other one. Does that make sense?
Really?
Yeah. So out of those numbers, which one do you think would make the most sense just to submit with to see if we can get you approved? And then obviously once you get access to that other policy, me and you can go over it, and then if you wanted to, I can help you cancel that one out as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, though, man? I'm not ready to cancel out anything right now.
I mean, I can just do some quick calculations for you.
You know what, though? Why don't we just put this on hold, man, and wait till I call you back?
I mean, we can do that as well. What time are you going to be getting home? With that, what was like the main thing that you wanted to look at before making sure that obviously you wanted to put a better product in place?
Oh, well, they told me I could, that's something which, later on, I will be able to, I could take money out of it.
Yeah, so that's called cash value, and that's exactly the same thing that you'd have with this as well, but even better. So out of the numbers that I gave you, which one of those would make the most sense just to submit for to see if we can get you approved?
Okay, really now, I've always heard them talking about getting the 15,000.
Okay, let me just get the application pulled up.
Yes.
Okay, and then what's a good height and weight for you, Mr. Leroy? Okay, perfect. And then, Mr. Leroy, as I mentioned to you earlier, the carrier will be doing a medical prescription check on you just to make sure that you are healthy enough to qualify. And for that, they do need your social, of course, so just go ahead with that when you're ready.
That's 156.
Okay, so I do just need to read that back to you just to confirm. That's going to be 1-6, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's just going to be a couple more medical questions. Okay, and then the carrier is going to send you a text in just a second. And then the next part here is going to be actually adding your beneficiary. So you mentioned that you want your sister to be that primary beneficiary.
Yeah.
Okay, what's going to be your sister's name?
Name is Natalie.
And then, of course, the carrier will also require proof of banking. Are you going to be banking locally with like a credit union? Or I'm assuming since you are a veteran, do you use Navy Federal? A lot of veterans use them.
Savings and checking account.
It does look like they do partner with them. And it actually pre-populates the routing number here. Do you have like a check or a bank statement somewhere in that card just so I can read this routing off to you, make sure it's the correct one?
Yeah, hang on.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, 28.
So you have just the account. It doesn't show the routing on there?
Correct.
Okay, so do you see anywhere the route, because it pre-populates the routing, it should be 03131 9058. Read off that account one more time so I make sure I can put that, see if it validates.
Yeah, I got 728.
Okay, so you said that's going to be 78. Is that correct? One more text code coming through here in just a second. If you can just read off that 6-number code for me again. That first sale that you guys just saw there, that was a policy replacement. So he already had a product in place, but I was able to sell him on changing over to a different product. I sold him for $115 a month. So if you times that by 12, this is going to be the full commission that I'm going to get paid out on, $1,380. Now, full transparency, they pay 75% up front. So $1,000 will get deposited as soon as that first payment the guy makes, but $1,380 is the full commission that I'm going to get paid out from this sale. So not too bad from one quick call, lasted about 30 minutes. As you can see from the video, my general process is just asking some questions, building up that why. This one was a little bit different, but we'll move into the next calls and I'll be breaking those down a little bit more. Thing is that they are just a little bit harder to qualify for, and that just comes down to how you're doing medically. So for you right now, is there anything major medically going on?
I have my blood routine.
Ballpark is fine. What would you say you're bringing in right now on a monthly basis?
I'm 1,200.
And Miss April, in terms of coverage, what was the biggest thing for you? Who's going to be that person in charge of handling all of those expenses?
I'm covering my daughter and my son.
You just want to make sure that you have something in place. That way they're not having to like come out of pocket for those expenses. Is that right? So we can look at 10 to 20,000. And then obviously if you'd like, we can look at a couple other options as well. So for 10,000, that's going to be about 2.7, so 27 a month. 15,000, that's going to be about 4.1. 20,000, that's going to be about 5.5.
The 27 is doing okay right now, and I probably got it.
Let me get the application pulled up here for you, Miss April. Okay, and then Miss April, please don't get upset at me at this next question here. My mom would probably slap me if she heard me ask this, but they do make me ask on the application, what's a good height and weight for you? They do need your social, of course, so just go ahead with that when you're ready.
Yeah. 5'5".
Okay, and then I do just need to read that back to you just to verify. That's going to be 5.5. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and then there's just going to be a couple more medical questions. Require proof of banking. And of course, if you get approved, you can use that to actually fund that policy. Are you going to be banking locally with like a credit union, or is that going to be a bigger institution like Chase or Wells Fargo?
Chase.
And it actually pre-populates the routing number here. Do you have like a check or a bank statement maybe laying around so I can read off this routing number to you and make sure it's correct? Yeah, it's 32627. Does that sound right?
That is correct.
Okay, and then just the account number.
I don't know offhand, and then after you call like 15 minutes. And
Do you have like maybe the mobile app?
I got 2 dogs, a cat and a dog, and driving the car.
Okay, it sounds like you have your hands full. So let me see here.
Thank you.
Yeah, when would you be not driving with 2 animals?
About 20 minutes from now.
Do you have a chance to pull up that banking app?
1 second. The account was 763.
Okay, so that account, that's going to be 7.3. Is that correct?
That is
Would get taken out tomorrow for that $27. And then as soon as that first payment gets taken tomorrow, those benefits will begin immediately. And then your children will be completely covered after that day, okay? Any conditions that require you to be on prescription medicine?
No.
Okay, that's good. So sounds like you're doing pretty good there health-wise. And rough ballpark is fine. What would you say you're bringing in right now on a monthly basis?
It's 1,800 every 2 weeks.
What was the biggest thing? Is it just covering those basic final expenses, or was it more so just leaving a little bit behind for your kids? What was the biggest thing for you?
I'm leaving a little bit behind for my kids.
What made you want to put something in place specifically now?
I just lost a niece, and you just never know when God's going to take you. I just want to be prepared.
Well, that's very smart of you. The biggest thing that it comes down to is actually qualifying, but I can pull up some numbers for you here. You wanted to look at, let's say, 10,000 of coverage, for example. That's going to be 26, 20,000. That's going to be 5.1, 30,000, and leave a bit more of a lump sum behind for your children. That's going to be $76 a month.
76. The last one.
30. Let me just get the application pulled up here for you. So Avenue, is that also going to be a good mailing address for you? Because if you do get approved, they'll send you a packet in the mail.
About 12 years.
For that, they do need your social, of course, so just go ahead with that when you're ready.
Oh, 543.
Okay, and then I do just need to read that back to you just to confirm. That's going to be 5.3. Is that correct? The next part is just going to be adding your beneficiaries.
I just have 2 kids.
do get approved, is there any reason you wouldn't want those benefits to begin immediately?
No, there's no reason. I would want them to be done immediately.
And then the carrier is also, of course, just going to require proof of banking.
I bank with Citibank.
If you have the mobile app, it should be on there as well. Do you have the mobile app?
Yeah, just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, so the account number is ready.
Yes, ma'am.
It's going to be 169.
Yes, ma'am. And then do you have the routing as well?
I do.
Okay, go ahead with that when you're ready.
The routing number is 1.
Last thing that I'll have you do here, Miss Yashkea, is I'll have you take down my personal phone number. Who do you know that might also benefit from something like...
You mean that it needs insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
I can't think right now right offhand, but of course if I find out, I'll ask around and ask my family if they have it, but I'll automatically send them to you, of course.
Just on the 3rd of the month, they should automatically take out that $72.16 on the 3rd.
Right.
If anything happens and they send me an email, then I'll just reach out to you, okay?
Yes, just call me anytime.
Okay, sounds good, Miss Sherry.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, have a great rest of your night, Miss Sherry. Bye-bye. Just caught the last part of that clip, but this was a lady that had closed the other week, but she didn't have her bank account yet, so she called me back and I was able to collect her banking information. Of course, I didn't count as a close back then. I finally closed her that night, so I count it as a close for that day. It was for $72, so if you multiply that by 12, that's going to be $865 in commission from that sale. Literally as easy as just collecting the banking information because I sold her the other week. So to end day one, as you guys saw, I closed 4 people. 3 of them were new leads that I'd closed. 1 of them was from a lady that I spoke with the other week. But to end the day off, it was $3,481. So not too bad for one day. You can write down there, Mr. Clifford, is going to be 10,000. And then underneath that, you can write down 20,000. Underneath that, 30,000. Next to that 10,000, 5,9. Next to that 20,000, you can write down 118. Next to that 30,000, 177. And then next to that 40,000, you can write down 236. But out of these, which one do you think would make the most sense to submit for? We can look at the 40,000. Is that what you're wanting to look at to see if we can get you approved?
If that's a possibility.
As long as that's something that you can manage every month, if you do get approved, is that something that you'd be able to manage, that 236 a month?
I will be able to in about 2 or 3 months as soon as I get all the bills and everything paid off.
If that 40,000 is something that you're wanting to do a couple months down the line, once you have the bills in order, just for now, that way we can get you something that's, you can handle right now, and then you can jump up to the 40,000 in a few months. Out of those options that I gave you, which one of those is something that you can handle, let's say next month, if you wanted to push it to that, and then later on in a few months, then we can submit for the 40. Is that $59 a month something that you'd be able to handle?
Yes.
Take a look at that. Let me just get the application pulled up. That way we can, make sure that we can get you approved for this. Okay, and what's a good height and weight for you, Mr. Clifford?
5'3", 150.
Okay, and then were you born here in the state of Kentucky?
I was born in the state of Indiana.
Phone number that we're on call with right now, I'm assuming that's going to be the best number to get a hold of you.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I need your social, of course, so just go ahead with that when you're ready.
Okay, 3084.
Okay, so that's going to be 34, is that correct?
Yes.
Beneficiary.
I have someone in mind.
And then, Mr. Clifford, just to submit as well, of course, the carrier is also going to require proof of banking.
I have a bank.
What's the name of that bank going to be?
Huntington 0421001.
That's the routing.
That's the routing number.
Okay, and then just the account.
020.
Count is 020. Is that correct? Is there a day that you normally get paid that you wanted that to be funded?
Therefore,
Just in case like anything major medical comes up, just making sure that you have like coverage. Biggest thing I can do is do a little bit of shopping around and see which carrier can actually get you approved for the best possible rate, just to put you and your family in the best situation here, okay?
Right, I understand.
But I can pull up some numbers for you here. Do you still have that piece of paper?
Yes, sir.
So 10,000, 15,000, that's gonna be 6.3.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, no worries.
The 15 will be fine, huh?
Okay, we can take a look at the 15 then. Please don't get upset at me at this next question. My mom would probably slap me if she heard me ask this, but they do make me ask on the application. What's a good height and weight for you?
Height is 5 and weight is 161.
They do need your social, of course, so just go ahead with that when you're ready.
402.
Is there any reason you wouldn't want those benefits to begin immediately?
No, but to begin with.
Are you going to be banking locally with like a credit union, or is that going to be a bigger institution?
I have Chase.
And then just the account number?
I have 297.
Okay, so that's going to be 22. Is that correct?
That's correct.
With that, you said you did want those benefits to begin immediately. So as long as you do get approved, as soon as that first payment would get taken is when those benefits begin. Stuck with me as the agent helping you out from now on. Do you think you can handle that?
Oh, please. I think I can handle that.
Are you going to be using the same account that you gave me last time to fund that, or is it going to be missing? The one we found for you is about $9 cheaper. I'll go ahead and submit yours then, and then that'll be for $61.81. That'll get withdrawn on the 22nd, and then just every month moving forward, that payment will just automatically get taken out on the 22nd of every month.
Correct. And Kim's the same way.
It will be the same way.
$30 a month, right?
$30.83 a month is what me.
Yeah, right, rounded up 31, but I was paying 40, see?
Yeah,
And the other way around with the other one, 70.
exactly.
61, so it might as well just say 10, $20.
Yeah.
Round.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, all right.
Yes, sir. That clip right there was actually 2 deals that I closed. It was a husband and wife. I spoke to him the other day, but he said he needed to talk to his wife. I tried to objection handle. I already had gotten his banking information, but he wasn't ready to sign up until he talked to his wife, made sure that she wanted it in place. He spoke with her, and she actually wanted coverage as well. So I was able to get his actually submitted, so fully closed. I'm actually getting paid for it. And then I was able to get his wife submitted, and she actually got approved. So the totals for both of them, his was $61.81, so about $741 for him, and then the wife was for $30.83. So you can see right there, and then you add those two up, it's about $1,111 commission from those 2 closes. So not too bad.
What?
Yeah.
I don't even know where he lives at. I didn't even ask you.
Yes, ma'am. I'm actually originally from Houston. That's where I was born and raised, in Houston, Texas.
Oh.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Makes my job worth it getting to speak with nice ladies like yourself.
No, thank you. Boy, that's a mess in Texas. I won't keep you. I just wanted to know that and see how you're doing.
Oh, well, it's no worries at
Find out
all.
about that. Yeah. All right, Johnston. Well,
All
you
right.
have a good rest of your day, and I'll
Okay.
talk to you soon.
All right, you
All right.
you have a great rest of your night, Miss Sherry. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So I just had this client call me, and I had to record it because I just find it so funny that these old people that you deal with typically in this niche of sales, they're so nice. I come from high ticket sales and having to spend 2 hours sometimes over Zoom calls with idiots having to reframe their mindset. But with these people, you hop on call, they know what the product is, they know that they need the product, and it's just a very easy sale. And this lady literally calls me randomly just asking how I am. That's how easy it is to deal with people in this niche of sales. So I just think it's hilarious. To give you a bit of my personal information, do you have a piece of paper just to write that down real quick? No worries. Okay, so just do me a favor and write down my name. That's going to be Jonathan, Jon, And then I am required to give you my national producer number. That's going to be 21. And that just pretty much works like a business social security. So you can actually use that to look me up and verify me, okay? Okay, perfect. And Miss Connie, when it does come to these newer programs, Kentucky is actually one of the states that has some new benefits, which we can go over here in just a second. But biggest thing is that they are a little bit harder to qualify for, and that just comes down to how you're doing medically. So for you right now, is there anything major medically going on?
Yeah, my teeth out.
Okay, got you. And then Miss Connie, in terms of coverage, what was the biggest thing for you? Okay, yeah, just taking care of those expenses and leaving a little bit behind for your kids. And do you already have anything in place for those final expenses at all, or no? Okay, you have 15,000. So you're just wanting to leave a little bit more behind for the kids then? Okay. What made you want to add more specifically now? But I can pull up some numbers for you here. Do you still have that piece of paper?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first number that you can write down there is going to be 5,000. Just to the right of that 5,000, you can write down 5,3. And then to the right of that 10,000, you can write down 103. And what you're looking at here, those numbers on the left, the 5, 7,500, and 10,000, of course, that's going to be the actual coverage amount that you'd be leaving behind with your children. And then those numbers on the right, of course, that would be the actual amount you'd be putting in to actually fund that policy every month. And we can look at some other options as well if you'd like. But out of these, which one do you think would make the most sense to submit with to see if we can get you approved? And then to the right of that 15,000, you can write down 154. Did you still want to look a little bit higher, or would one of those options make sense? So 17,500, and then to the right of that, you can write down 180. The 17.5. Let me just get that application pulled up here for you, Miss Connie. And for that, they do need your social, of course. So just go ahead with that when you're ready. That's going to be 408. Is that correct?
Yeah.
The carrier is just going to send you over a 6-number code just to verify that you're on call with me. If you can just read that out.
053001.
You're pretty good with technology. You found that code pretty quick there. Okay, and then Miss Connie, the next part here is going to be actually adding your beneficiary.
I've got one kid, one granddaughter, and 2 great-grandchildren.
Carrier is also going to require proof of banking.
U.S. Bank.
Okay, and then just the account number.
1492.
Okay, so that's going to be 1-2. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I know we were looking at the 17,500 for $180 a month, but it's actually only going to be $152 a month. So did you want to keep it at that, or did you want to raise it a little bit to that 20,000? And for 20,000, it's going to be $173 a month. The 20 for okay, so that's you got pre-approved for, it's going to be $173.13 a month, okay? $173 a month, something that you're going to be able to handle month over month. As soon as that first payment of $173 gets taken out on the 4th of next month, those benefits will begin immediately. Okay, so that was day 2 of selling. You can see I closed 4 deals, technically 5 because one of them was husband and wife. So 5 total deals closed, and end of day 2 total was $4,651. So not bad at all for taking 5 calls. And then we'll head to day 3 and see how I did there. You can actually use that to look me up and verify me, okay?
Okay, I've been scammed so much till I just don't want to give out too much.
No worries at all. Has some new benefits, but biggest thing is that they are a little bit harder to qualify for. Anything major medically going on?
Yes, I have pancreatic cancer. I'm having problems walking. I've got a lot of arthritis. I just got a whole lot of stuff going on.
I'd imagine since you have a lot of those medical conditions, that's probably why you're looking into something like this. I have the numbers pulled up here for you. Do you still have that piece of paper?
Yes.
Okay. So the first number that you can write down there, Miss Sharon, is going to be 5,000. Underneath that, you can write down 10,000. Underneath that, you can write down 15,000. To the right of that 5,000, you can write down 3,800. To the right of that 10,000, 7,500. To the right of that 15,000, 111. Which one do you think would make the most sense?
Well, how about us just doing the 5,000 right now?
Okay, let me just get that application pulled up here for you, Miss Sharon. There's just going to be, and for that they do need your social, of course, so just go ahead with that when you're ready.
Okay, it's 400.
The carrier is, of course, going to require proof of banking. Use that to actually fund the policy.
I don't feel comfortable about giving out my bank information.
No worries, and I honestly really don't feel comfortable asking for it either. They do just obviously require it on the application just to submit, and then if you do get approved, of course, you can use that to fund it. So is it like a local bank or a bigger institution that you're with?
It's a local bank.
Okay.
It's a local bank.
Okay, and then what's going to be the name of that one so I can make sure that they work with them?
The auto truck, it's a credit union.
It does look like they do work with them, and it actually pre-populates that routing number here. Do you have like a check or a bank statement laying around just so I can read this routing off to you, make sure it's correct?
Well, hang on.
Okay, no worries.
To be honest with you
Okay.
now, I've been scammed 3 times because of this, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give you my banking number.
No worries at all. They do just need to, of course, first verify the routing number before we even get into any of that. Should be 283-078-684. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, got you. And then I know you did say that you've been scammed before. Of course, I completely understand, right? I'm the exact same way. I hate giving out my information. Of course, they do, like I said, just require it. That way, if you get approved, you can actually fund it. So just the account number as well whenever you're ready.
I don't feel comfortable with doing this. To be honest, I really don't.
Hate asking for it as well. I really don't feel comfortable asking for it. They do just require it, of course, because banking is the safest way to actually fund that. So it's like, for example, I'm sure you've given out a check before, right, Miss Sharon?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, exactly. So you know with those checks, even if you give it to someone, it has that routing and account number on there. And the reason they make that so easily accessible on the check is just because that's the safest way to track transactions. But they do just need the account. So whenever you're ready with that.
I don't know. What is your phone number?
I can have you write that down, my personal. Okay, so that's going to be 281. And then, Miss Sharon, I know you did tell me, obviously, you have been scammed before, which I completely understand, right? It's good to be safe about giving.
$2,000.
Yeah, I mean,
They
that's.
got me for $2,000.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I mean, I completely understand. It's horrible. And obviously, that is why they require me to give you all of my information at the beginning of the call, that agent number that I gave you. That way you can actually verify that and went through all those background checks and whatnot. Because, of course, to sign up for any sort of state programs, they do need some of your personal information. And that is also why they do banking instead, just because that is a much safer way to transact. And then, I mean, also, Miss Sharon, like, if I was trying to do anything bad with your information, there's already a lot that someone can do with your social, right? I would have just hung up on you after I got that. But, I mean, if I do anything bad with your information, I could face 25 years in prison since I am a licensed agent. I don't think that would be worth it for me, right?
No, I don't think so either. Let me get you my card number.
Okay.
I see what you're saying, but I'm just
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm just nervous
Yeah,
about it.
I
But
understand.
I know they need nothing they can do about it once they get it, other than
Yeah.
stop it.
Yeah.
But you don't ever get that back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. 100%.
$10,000 is a lot of money to somebody that
Yep.
don't have it.
Yep, go ahead when you're ready.
Asking you, okay?
Okay.
All right, here you go. It's my account number. It's 8240.
Okay, that's 80. Is that the full account number?
Yes.
Okay. As you guys just saw, that lady gave a hard banking objection. Said, I'm not giving you your account. I don't feel comfortable, or I don't really want to do this. I'm not giving you the account. And I was still able to get the account. So hopefully you guys got some value from that objection handling. You can see I started it off very nonchalant, very calm. Yeah, no worries, they do just require it. Didn't say more than I needed, didn't try and justify myself. And that sort of small thing just builds a lot of trust, not doing more than you need to. And then over time, as she kept giving me the objection, I ramped it up a little bit, was able to handle it and close her. So that lady was closed for $38 a month. So $456 commission on that just by overcoming that banking objection. 15,000, you can write down 8, 7. And what you're looking at here, those numbers on the left, the 5, 10, and 15,000, of course, that would be the actual coverage amount that you'd be leaving behind with Christopher and Jenny, just to make sure that, of course, they're not having to like come out of pocket for any of those expenses like you had to do with your husband. And then those numbers on the right, that's going to be the actual amount that you'd be putting in to actually fund that policy every month. And we can look at some other numbers as well. But out of these, which one do you think would make the most sense?
15,000.
The 15,000? Okay.
Okay. 15 would buy the mausoleum and the coffin.
Okay, we can take a look at the 15 then. Let me just get this application pulled up here for you, Miss Sharon. Your social, of course, so just go ahead with that when you're ready.
Okay, fine.
Okay, and then I do just need to read that back to you just to make sure this is correct. So that's going to be 4-9, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then the next part here is going to be adding both of your beneficiaries. So if you do get approved, any reason you wouldn't want those benefits to begin immediately?
No, I mean, I'd like to have it immediately.
The carrier is also, of course, going to require proof of banking. Do you have like a check or a bank statement laying around? The account number?
175.
Okay, so 175 is the account number.
Yes.
In terms of coverage, Miss Linda, what was the biggest thing? Is it just covering those basic final expenses and leaving some?
What you said to begin with, just to take care of the final expenses and leave my daughter some money. I'm just going to say I did have a policy, but it was too much for me to have to pay every month. I didn't have enough to pay it, so I had to cancel it.
So it sounds like you want to look for something a little bit cheaper just to make sure that you have coverage in place for your daughter, making sure that she's not coming out of pocket, but obviously something that you can manage, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the first number that you can write down is going to be 5,000. Underneath that, you can write down 10,000. To the right of that 10,000, you can write down 7,300. So out of those, which one do you think would make the most sense to?
Probably, I think maybe, I'm not sure about the 15.
The 10,000 make a little more sense for you?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we can take a look at the 10, and for that they do need your social, of course, so just go ahead with that when you're ready.
Okay, it's 4622.
Require proof of banking.
No, I don't actually have a bank.
Okay, do you have like a Direct Express card, I'm assuming, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that should work as well.
Okay, we got 42349.
Okay, and then the expiration. Yep.
Yeah, it's 11.
Okay.
CVN is 3.
Okay, I'm just going to read that back off to you to make sure I have that correct here. Okay, so that concludes all of the clips of the 3 days that I actually filmed myself selling. So you guys literally just watched me make over $10,000 within the span of 72 hours, and I did it all from my laptop doing remote sales. So let's actually break down the numbers and exactly what was done over the 3 days. So first day, I sold 4 deals and the ending was $3,481. Second day, I closed 5 deals and I ended the day at 4,651. So by the end of day 2, I was at $8,000 in commission. Day 3, I closed 3 deals, and that was totaling $2,376. So we ended the 3 days at over $10,000 commission, all from just taking sales calls. And the spend on this was $250 on leads. So this just shows you guys what's possible whenever you actually learn a skill set and use that to get paid. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about sales or this specific opportunity, I have a free Discord link below with a ton of resources so that you can get started with sales and actually build the skill to make money. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like it, make sure to like and subscribe. If you guys have any video suggestions or any questions that you want answered, just leave a comment below and I'll see you guys in the next one.